So that's the first one. All right, let's look at this one. Is this good for you guys? Can you, let me see if I can see the chat. Or Kirby, you can tell me if people are liking this. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so relational intelligence, great. So you've got this, we've got the video here. Let's, I'm gonna just kind of scoot through this. Okay, so we've got talking head for the most part. Okay, so it's all talking head. So what I would probably do is kind of what I outlined before is like, if I have these bullets of what I'm going to talk about, I want to show like the reason that quote demonstrations and demos are compelling for sales calls is because it it doesn't leave to the imagination. It just shows them what they're going to get. And so think about this. This actually might be a good frame for everyone. Think about this like an unboxing video. So it's like, I'm going to unbox what you're going to get. And this is the stuff that's inside. And you just, again, while you're thinking through this, and this comes with time and comes with practice when you like sell stuff, but you're thinking, how does this help them avoid pain? How does this help them gain what they want faster, easier, or more guaranteed or risk-free, right? And so each of these things is away from bad towards good, and you've got the elements of risk, speed, and ease, right? That's kind of the matrix that you're thinking through in terms of how you're describing each of the bullets or each of the components or features of what you're including in your community. So I would take advantage of the other tiles here. So that would be something that I would do because the tiles, people carousel through all of them. Like they quickly look through all of them. Like I can tell you that right now. If you've ever, who here, actually, I'm going to ask this in the chat. Who here has bought stuff on Amazon? Just say it in the chat. Say in the chat if you buy stuff on Amazon. Yes. Okay. So when you buy stuff on Amazon, what do? Like if you're like me, I literally click all the tiles of the image to see if there's anything that I want to see, right? And then what do? Then I scroll through the bullets to see what the features are. Because if there's something that I was thinking about, like if I had a question about an element of the product, and then I look at the price and the options associated, and then I make a purchasing decision. Fundamentally, that's what it is. And when reviews come out, those will be a huge, huge boost for everybody. Well, if your reviews are good, they'll be a boost for you. If your reviews are bad, then it might be a little tough. But make sure your reviews are good. All right. So going back to this, so one is I would probably take that video that you have, and I would want it while you're explaining all the stuff that's inside, show what you're explaining. So that gives a visual aid. So you have basically two forms of stimulation. When you have the words, but then you also have the visual of like what you're describing at the same time. The other tiles I would use to highlight, and for you, it's like right now you have work relationships. Let me pull this back up because I'm looking at it. Here we go. So you've got work relationships, family members, romantic partners, you relate with things. So if these are the different components, then I would want to draw basically testimonials or posts relevant to those topics. Now I know you have 15 members and that's fine. So the way that I would think through this is make a training or do a live on that thing, and then ask for feedback on that training. And then that way you can screenshot the feedback about that topic so that you can use each of those. And if you're like, man, this sounds like work, I mean, welcome to business. But like these are the little details that will really drive the needle or like move the needle. And I will say this is that as you're looking through each of these features or components, each of those features is going to be for one specific avatar. So there's going to be somebody who's like, I have an issue with my phone. I'm addicted to my phone, right? Or I have an issue with my boss, right? And so they're going to join probably because they have one relationship in mind that they're trying to fix. And so we need to make sure that we're checking that box for that person. And so like one of those tiles will be the one that sold them. And then the text underneath simply re-explains for people who prefer to read or adds any more context that you don't think you included in the visuals, what is included inside. All right, so that's the TLDR, in my opinion, for this page. Let me see if there's anything else that I would look at here. Okay.
And whilst you're looking, for everybody listening, this lesson and all of these lessons apply to every single about page. All about pages follow the same format. So every lesson here applies to your about page, even if your about page doesn't get reviewed.
Yeah, I would see if I could tighten this into like 4 lines, and I would have them be separate lines, and then I would get into the stuff inside. Just me as a reader, right? It'd be like if I were selling this, I would probably say something to the extent of like, The strength of the relationship with your significant other has a 0.71 correlation to your overall well-being. Boom. Okay, that means it's more important than this, and this. 0.2. Great. So that is why we have these things, the bullets to solve that. So it's like, you want to create, you're currently here, you want here, this is why it's important, and then here's the things that we do to help you solve it. So like, we want to be as tight as humanly possible with the copy, and like, you have to be ruthless in terms of like, does this sentence or this phrase pay its rent? Will it be, and this is how I like to think about this, with every sentence or every bullet that you put on there, you have to say, will this get a higher percentage of people to buy? A, or B, will it get a new audience of people who wouldn't have bought to buy? So it's basically saying the same thing with just two different phrasings. One is like, obviously, if you have 100 people, a higher percentage of people to buy might mean that you might appeal to 3 more people in the audience by adding this phrase, which then overall increases the conversion. And so fundamentally, the purpose of this page is to convert the highest percentage of the audience who views it, ideally of the customers that you want. And so something that might also be worth adding, by the way, the most read thing in almost every sales letter is going to be the headline, first line, and the PS statement at the end. So you guys aren't using a PS statement at the end, I'd highly recommend you do that because everyone will read it. And so sometimes PS statements can be simple as like, hey, if you're somebody who's like, just like basically, I like PS statements for away statements, meaning this is who it's not for. And by saying who it's not for, the right people will be like, oh, good, I hate these people. This is who I am for. So it's like, hey, if you're the type of person who's going to blame everyone else in your life, this is not a bitch fest inside of a group. Like, this is for people who want to take actions and say that 100% of a relationship is in their control because that's the only thing you can control, right? Like, that would be my angle if that was the audience that I wanted. Now, if you wanted victims, then you can go after them, right? All right, let's look at the next one.